What up, my people? ¿Qué pasa, mi gente? Welcome. Bienvenidos to another episode, otro episodio de Hoy en Día TV. I am your host and producer, Yessie Rodriguez, and bringing on to the stage, I have my amazing co-hosts. We have Nadine Barton, the author, Navy retired, entrepreneur, a little bit of this and that. Hey, how are you, sis?
I am well. Happy Thursday. How are you
Yes,
doing?
happy
You
terrific
looking nice and cozy and warm. I mean, is it cold where you're at?
Yes. You know, my honey likes to keep the AC on pretty cool in here, so I have to stay pretty warm.
I got you. Totally understand.
But thank you. And I would bring on the amazing CC, Dr. C. Andra, the actionist.
Hello. Yes, you ladies are looking gorgeous. Good to see
Gracias.
y'all. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. Uh-oh, I see my camera froze here. Says, D, help with your camera. Oh, gosh, come on now. See what happens when you try to be great? Technology just acts wonky.
Somebody don't want us to be great today, but hey, I rebuke it.
I rebuke it too. Yes.
That's right.
This is only the start because I've been reading some pretty interesting, scary stuff that has been happening since the last week that we talked. And that's uncomfortable for me. So, what are your thoughts about? Have y'all heard about the whole sleeper cells thing?
The woo?
Well, a long time ago, sleeper cells, because the military, you know what I'm saying? But we've heard of sleeper cells. I've heard people here in North Carolina, a friend of mine, she says that she doesn't know for sure, but she believes that it was a front for like a meat store, but she believes it's a sleeper cell. Because she was like, the people had no clue what they were doing. Like, she was asking questions about the meat. They were just kind of like, huh? What are you talking? So she think it was like a front, and that, that they had like shelves and these different things in the back and just stuff that was kind of weird for a meat store, And so, yeah, I've heard about it.
Are you talking about those undercover stores that they claim that they use and it's human meat? Is that what you're referring to?
No.
Human meat? No.
No.
I never heard of that one.
Oh, gosh.
That was new for me.
I've seen videos.
That's scary. What a human meat. No. Okay, well, let me tell you this. So pretty much what a sleeper cell is pretty much like a individual affiliated with the like a terrorist group, and they're blending within society. So they look like regular people, quote unquote, right? Hence the example of the meat production people that have no clue what they're doing. And then once they're affiliated with like an external party that wants to cause chaos and strife. And so what happens is when they get the warning or whatever trigger word it is that they get, they go to action and they start chaos and disrupt our society. So in a nutshell,
which is very smart. Which is very smart. And you see it, it's very prevalent because there's like a big Muslim community, of course, like in Oklahoma and these places, and they've really kind of just taken over. And you've seen it too, like in New York as well. You've seen these kind of things happening too. So it's very, very interesting. And people, we do have to kind of keep our eyes open because I mean, it could be right in your neighborhood, fronting as a meat store. You know what I'm saying? But it's really not. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was just some things that were just kind of out of place, didn't make sense. And so she was like kind of asking, and she said that people became very kind of aggravated with her, like basically kind of get out of here, like, she was like, I'm just trying to buy some meat, but y'all
right,
y'all doing some other stuff in here.
But we already have enough disruption. I mean, what more do we need? Like, come on now.
I feel you, sis, and I echo your words. It's really sad. And the reason why I brought up the whole sleeper cell thing is because I saw a video earlier from, I think it was a CNN newscaster, and then there was he invited a ex-CIA or something like that. Somebody who was obviously part of the government, right? And he mentioned that with sleeper cells, not necessarily sleeper cells, they can do cyber attacks, which we've been experiencing that with some of our technology and hacking and all that. There's different ways to affect and disrupt society other than having sleeper cells. And so because we were experiencing technological issues earlier, right, before logging on, it triggered my brain to remember, wow, I really hope that is not a part of what's happening.
And you think that's the group that's messing with our airplanes?
Oh, good question. Good question. You know what? It may be. It may be. I mean, there's just so much going on that there's just so many question marks and what ifs and like Cece said, we just have to be mindful, watchful. It's really sad that we have to watch where we travel to now, the different level warnings. Like for example, last week I shared the DR has a level 2 with travel. There's a lot of other countries and areas and destinations, even locally. Like I read that New York, Chicago, California, a lot of those places have elevated alerts because of the whole sleeper cell situation where they're like, hey, you all have to watch what's going on, watch your surroundings.
So they're basically secret agents.
And the sad thing is that you have our very own American citizens who are against our very own country, which is very sad.
That part.
And so there's a lot of brainwashing going on, a lot of indoctrination and stuff. And the American people, most of us are clueless, right? Most of us are clueless. And we don't know how to prepare. We don't know how to defend and all these things. But people from other countries, this is their way of life. So when something pops off, they know how to handle it. They know what to do. So you better believe that they come here and they look at everything that our country has. They infiltrate, you like you said, governments and all of these things to get the insider things so they can go back to report, so they can come in and infiltrate. And that, what better way to destroy a nation than from within? You see what I'm saying? If it's an external force coming outside, okay, we're at war with this country, whatever. Okay, that's externally, so we can kind of, get a game plan. But if it's internal with your own people, it's like, who do you trust? Like having a mole, kind of like in your organization. Who do you trust? What do you do? That kind of stuff. And so I believe for the U.S. that we, like the citizens, do need, training in these types of things. When there's severe weather storms, or if there, these forest fires and all of these things, like where are we really supposed to go? The hurricanes and stuff like that. A lot of citizens don't even know, like where they're supposed to go. A lot of citizens in the U.S. don't even know, like, because we have like all of these towers, like these big water towers and all these things and stuff like that. You also have different alarms in the city. What do the alarms mean? In the military, when we have an alarm, like just for instance, right, for the Navy, we have a whistle. And this is just, basic. This is nothing dangerous, but we have a whistle. And when we blow this whistle, the whistle can tell us different things. It tells us where we need to go. It tells us whether it's colors. It tells us whether, you know what I'm saying? Nadine, you remember we blow the
general
whistle on the
quarters,
ship
general
as
quarters.
the boat is made. Yeah. And so what all of the sounds mean. And we have sounds like that for the emergency broadcast system and things like that. But where are you supposed to go? I bet a lot of citizens don't even know a lot of this national kind of stuff, which is basic, which is things that you should know. Emergency shelters and things of that nature and so on and so forth. So if you had to hunker down and all those things, where's the nearest place that you're supposed to go? People don't know that. Probably military families probably know, because, you just kind of train to kind of know this stuff. And you're just like, let me see, something pops off. Where do I need to go? What do I need to do? But it's very, very serious, and it's scary. It's scary because it's like, here's something else now. You got to learn, you got to do, you got to prepare for it. It's like, when does it end?
It's like that big fire that they had in LA, remember? Where all, a lot of the celebrities, their houses burned down. I mean, those people, some of them are probably still homeless, still trying to pick their lives back up. You know what I mean?
Right. No, and good points you're talking about. Cece, I'm glad you brought up that whole the notion of knowing where to go, because the other day I did that. I Googled it to see, okay, in case of an emergency, like where do I go? And Google really wasn't helpful because a lot of the shelters that it was pulling up at the locations, 2 of them were like closed, and then the other one were all the way in the mountains. I'm nowhere near the mountains. Like, where am I supposed to go in case of an emergency? So that is going to be part of my task to research, because I am determined to share this information with the people and listeners and viewers. Because if I don't know where to go, we got to figure this out.
Good for you to even take the time to go on and see, like I'm saying, because in a lot of your rural areas and stuff like that, where do those people go? You know what I'm saying? Even for these, more peerless times that are going to befall us, because, we know these things are going to happen, but there is a way to prepare, right? With water and different things, having your, if it's like a state of emergency, because right now, like there's this whole heat advisory going on. Everything is hot. Everything is hot. And you don't realize how damaging heat can be until the damaging heat is here. Right? So like in your cars, for instance, right? Just even trying to crack a window to try to get some airflow, that's important. Sometimes your car can get so hot it can crack your windows. People don't know that. The leather, like when I got in my car
Mm.
today, the leather seats, you can suffer like a second-degree burn, maybe even third, just depend. You see what I'm saying? Because these temperatures are so extreme. And North Carolina, is where we're at right now. But it feels like the temperatures in Florida. Like it's,
Yes.
it's blazing today, you know? And so just knowing how to prepare and to be safe from that, even like little things that people don't think about, like touching doorknobs, you know what I'm saying? And like, at stores and stuff, because a lot of the things are like metal, or sometimes you get like the automatic ones, but if you got to get one that you got to push, that's normally like that metal bar going across. Can you imagine like that thing is just baking in the sun all day, and then you go to like open the door and you touch that? That's a burn. I know
Absolutely.
there, been there, done that. Right? It's no fun.
Yeah, or like
So
wearing shorts and going in the car and sitting down on your leather seat if you have a leather. Also, a reminder not to leave your son. It's good we are talking about this because I was watching a video about it. I don't remember if it was TikTok or Instagram, but don't leave your sunglasses in the car because the ray from the sun they could reflect and crack your windshield. There was so many helpful information in there, like don't leave it on your dashboard too. That's facing,
yeah.
your
That's
windshield.
really good. And the other thing is people don't think about it, and I just think all the time, sometimes too much. But when the temperatures get up that high, what about all the carcinogens that are being released, all the toxins that's in all of our leather seats and in the vinyl and in the plastics for the sunglasses and all, you know what I'm saying? All of that stuff. This stuff is now heated up, and so now you're being exposed to it. What is it giving off that's going to be cancerous, right? Those types of things. So it's the little things like that we really got to kind of get back to the basics to kind of think about and know how to prepare your vehicles, know how to prepare your homes, and they're saying like the grid is being overloaded right now because of the heat, which I truly believe that this is all beta testing. I'm kind of like a conspiracy theorist to an extent, but I'm like, a lot of this conspiracy stuff, this stuff is true. We're seeing it unfold and happen right before our very eyes. So I don't get on all of it, but I'm like, some of these things we might kind of need to research a little bit more and look into. And so
Yeah.
yeah. So with that being said, we just got to be prepared in every way, and it is more stress, but if we look at it in a good light, keeping things positive, because that's what we're about here on Oindia TV, right? Educating, right? Keeping it positive is to,
Right.
don't be afraid. We're to fear not. So go and get the education. Go and know what we're supposed to do. Like Yessie's doing, she's going to find out, hey, where are we supposed to go? I have to even do that my own self because I have not done that here in North Carolina, right? I knew in Florida, but I have not done that here. And so, like, where
Mhm.
do I go? That kind of stuff.
Exactly. It's just like planning for a hurricane. You got to know those things, those details. Yeah, somebody in the comments said, yes, that happened today. Andreen, welcome, welcome. What happened today with your vehicle or your windshield?
Yeah, good point. Please
Yeah.
put it in the comment section. That way we can bring you on. We have another one. Shout out to Sully. Hello. Hello, cuz. Thanks for tuning in and supporting.
And also do not leave any water bottles in the car and then drinking it afterwards.
Yeah, because I heard that causes cancer as well, from what I've read.
Hmm.
Yes. Because the plastic particles melt within the water. Yeah, you're not going to see it because it's
Yeah.
very microscopic, unless you have microscopic eyes, which if you do, then that means you're a superhuman, which is pretty cool. So you should come reach out to me if you're a superhuman because I'm interested in picking your brain. Anyway, going on my tangent. But yes. But yeah, so it does, from what I've read, it does cause cancer. So I echo Nadine's words. Please do not drink water that's been sitting there, especially when it's like super hot and you just, if you can help it, right? I mean, I can see if you're like in the middle of nowhere, like a desert, and all you have is like really dirty water, then maybe an exception. But if you can help it, don't drink it, right? Don't drink it. Oh, here. So we have Andreen responded. She says, I was so high, I had nothing. I I was so high, I had nothing in leather. Oh my God, yes, you can definitely burn yourself. But also wanted to share with you that cool down station 211, and they can let them know about where to go. Huh, cool down station 211. That's different. I'm interested in researching about that.
But you know how you have the heater, you have the heated seats. Some vehicles come with like, you could cool down your leather.
That's true. Yep, that is true. Shout out to my car because it has that feature. I get to press the button and I get to sit in nice cool seats. Hey. I did that on purpose too. I upgraded on purpose because I'm like, this North Carolina weather is crazy hot or crazy cold because it depends on where you live, right? It can be like extreme hot, extreme cold. The beautiful thing is that we do experience different climates. We get to see the beach, we get to see the mountains, a little bit of this and that. So it's just all
Mm-hmm.
about what you're into. But yes, and keeping that in mind, going back to the sleeper cells. So I echo both Nadine and CC, Dr. CC's words. So report suspicious activity, call your local law enforcement, have emergency plans. Hence, look into where you're supposed to go in case of an emergency. We are definitely going to do that, and we challenge you to do that and stay prepared. Also, stay connected. So be connected with your community. That helps bring awareness. Also, encourage dialogue, promote open, respectful conversations around safety, mental health, and community wellness. The same thing we do here at Oyandia TV. We promote mental health, open, respectful conversations, safety, positivity, a little bit of this and that. That's why if you're tuning into Oyandia TV, you are doing the right thing because here we are inspiring, motivating, educational, entertaining, of course. I mean, I feel like we're entertaining. I mean, we just have a little chuckle, giggle earlier, but hey, life is all the different colors and shades. Also, stay connected to what you pretty much share online. Be careful what you share online. Some sleeper cells gather that information through your social media because they're monitoring. Secure your devices. Keep your personal information and local or location information private. So if you can, please avoid the whole location sharing. Like, do yourself and your family a favor. Don't make yourself targets. Okay. Also, understand the real risk. So sleeper cells are rare and typically target infrastructure or symbolic locations. However, your biggest protection is awareness. So stay connected, stay aware, you'll be good. And like CC said, stay positive. Everything's going to work out. All right. So, what other topics do we have for discussion before we bring our special guest who is patiently waiting for us?
Yes, I wanted to piggyback on the tips for the sleeper cells. Like your social media, all your stuff. It's important, even beyond this, like with your settings for any apps that you download for anything, all of your stuff, you should definitely go into your privacy settings and change them because it's up to that company, right? The people that create the apps and all these stuff, these creators, is to get as much information as they possibly can. So when you download the apps, it automatically opens everything up, right? To pull that information. They're banking on you not going into your privacy settings to change any of the stuff. So you need to go into there and you can turn things off to say what they can see, what they can't see, so on and so forth. You might have some I don't even know the words right now, it's like escaping me, but some functionality, like there might be certain things that you can't do on it, but if there is something that you need, you can go on and turn it on for that moment in time and then get what you need and then turn it back off. So definitely make it a point to go into like your Facebook, your LinkedIn, Instagram, the tickety talk, as my mom say, right? Go in and turn off those the ones that are non-essential that you don't need. Even for your phones, when you get your iPhones and your Androids, these phones automatically come preloaded to gather all the stuff that they can. You even have to go into the settings for your phone and change certain privacy things in there, components in there to be able to help you out. So make sure that you all do take the time. If you got like 1,000 apps downloaded, you're gonna have to take the time to go in and
And you go to
make that
mine, yeah.
happen. But it helps to keep you safer. You know what I'm saying? And just so people are not pulling all of your information.
Yeah, you're right, Cece. Just like on Google as well, you could go there's a setting on there. You could go on there and you could blur out your house, the picture of your house.
Good to know. I didn't know
I've
that.
seen that. Didn't know that, but I've seen
I've
that.
done that,
So
and my house
yeah,
is
I
now
need to do
blurred.
that. Yes, I've seen that because like my house was just pulled up on Google, and you could see everything. Now it was an old picture because it wasn't even our car in the drive or whatnot, but you could it was definitely our house. It was definitely our house, and that's scary.
Yes, mine too. And they recently, before I did that, it was like a month before they recently did their surveys because within that month they came around, or they, I don't know if they're using what do you call those little things they have floating around? Oh my God, somebody remind me, what
Oh,
is it?
those drones.
The drones, yes, because I know it was on a Thursday, because my trash day is on a Thursday and my trash can was out and my grass was freshly cut. I remember exactly what day that was. So yeah.
Oh, Nadine, we actually have Andrine asking to share that information.
Yes, I'll have to go in and finagle some things and try to. I don't remember it off the top of my head how to do it. I don't want to give you the wrong information, so I'll find out and I'll text you, Angie.
Okay, awesome. But people at India want to know too, so definitely bring it as soon as you have it available so we can
Oh
broadcast it
yeah,
to everyone. That would be very
and
helpful.
it's a real simple step too. I'll definitely share that information.
Okay, awesome. Also, Andrine shared, I'm sharing that if you know a homeless person, send them to cool down shelters or call 211 for locations. Ah, good to
Mm,
know. Good to know. Very, very helpful.
thank
Oh,
you.
yes. All right. So we've entered the moment where we're going to pivot over to our special guest. We've had interesting, juicy conversations here at Oyandia TV already, like we do, right? And so on this day today, right, we're joined by a special guest, also known as TK, the powerhouse behind Royalty Bells Cosmetics, RBC, a luxury beauty brand dedicated to providing head-to-toe services, including hair, makeup, and spa treatments. At RBC is more than just beauty, it's a full experience. Their line of natural hair and skincare essentials, paired with uplifting conversations and words of wisdom, sets the tone for the mission, turning visions into reality for all the kings and queens, enhancing beauty from inside and out. So, welcome to Oyandia TV special guest TK. Welcome.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
How are you guys
We're
doing?
glad to have you.
Well,
Good.
welcome, welcome, welcome.
Doing well, thank you. I have a little headache, but I'm pushing through it. The enemy's trying to
Okay.
get me, but it's not going to happen because I am here with two lovely ladies and we have some amazing listeners and viewers depending on us. So, hey, the show must go on. So, tell us a little
Yeah.
bit. So, I know I've read your bio and it sounds amazing, but who do you say? Who does TK say she is?
Well, I'm TK. I am a beauty guru. I am an author. I am a mom, first and foremost. Um, there's a whole bunch of things up there. I'm an actress, a model, and like you said, I do hair and makeup and more from head to toe. I've been doing this for going on 12 years now.
That's amazing. That is amazing. So I'm always curious about hearing the start. How did this all start and what inspired you to get into this industry?
Honestly, all I knew getting out of high school was that I wanted to help people. So automatically you think, medical field or something like that. So I went into that. I went into doing physical therapy, and long story short, it just wasn't for me. With all the terminology and things like that. And I got to really my wits end into my last decisions, and I'm just like, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And my sister-in-law at the time was just like, why don't you do hair? Because at the time I was already modeling just from different stuff I would encounter being in high school. And I was already doing my own hair and doing my family's hair. It just came naturally to me. So I was like, you know what, that might be a great idea. So I went to cosmetology school at FTCC, and from there I just everything was smooth, flying colors. I could was the teacher's pet, in a positive way. You name it. Doing skills USA, which is a little competition we had there, and just a whole bunch of different things. From there, I ended up meeting a celebrity hairstylist named Aaliyah Kadir Culbertson, and we just started working together. And like I said, it just you know came together like that.
That's amazing. Yes, that is beautiful. Nadine or Cece, any questions for our guest?
Uh-oh,
Oh,
I can't.
Nadine, you're on
Oh,
mute. Let me see if I can unmute you. Hold on. Oh, I can't unmute you.
Yeah, I just unmute myself. Yeah, so you said welcome TK to the
Thank
show.
you.
So you said you've been doing this for a long time. So what's your favorite thing to do? I mean, you just do I know you're doing acting, modeling and all this with the makeup. So I know yesterday I already asked you what inspired you. So what's your favorite thing to do? Which one would you say is like the number one thing that you prefer?
I love doing makeup. I think that is my number one favorite thing to do because to me, makeup is just artistry. Like you're painting someone's face, you're creating them into a completely different person and building confidence from the inside out.
Awesome.
So you have like your own makeup line? You have your own product line with that?
I do. I do have my own product line. I have skincare, body care. So like skincare, we have scrubs, body butters. I have milk baths, body soaps, yoni soaps, and I have lip glosses. And I'm working on some other goodies too.
So like
That
with
is
your products and stuff, so like are you like outsourcing? Like how does one know like the ingredients, right? Because we want natural, we want healthy, all of those things. So
Right.
how do
Everything is
we
all natural. So I'm definitely outsourcing. I found a particular vendor that I like to use that is make sure that everything is read out to me so I can read it all out to you guys. So everything is all natural ingredients. You're unlikely to be allergic to anything or have any sensitivity to any of my products because they're all natural unless you're specifically allergic to one of the natural products like people are allergic to honey or jojoba oil or stuff like that.
mhm.
so this is always interesting to me and I love to see, behind all these things and these products and stuff. So how does one
Uh-oh, I'm sorry, it's coming in.
Cece, we
Yeah,
losing. You must be in a
Yeah.
bad area. You
know
must be in a
about
I was
bad
hoping
spot.
it was
yeah, it's okay.
now?
It's still a little robotic. It's okay. Once the audio comes back,
Somebody
we
else go
can
ahead.
have you
Okay, it's okay.
ask the question again. So I think for me, I would say the question that I have for you is regarding like the skincare because a lot of growing up, there's a lot of teenagers that either have dry skin or there's like bad acne, and then you go into
mm-hmm.
adulthood, a lot of them carry that into that, right? So, from a skincare perspective, what are some of the things that they can start doing early, or even parents helping their kids start doing early to make sure that that doesn't happen and transition into adulthood with like acne or dry skin or just bad skin conditions
Well,
overall?
when it comes to that, I would like to say, start with those home remedies. Keeping it natural is the way to go because half the time all these chemicals and things they have in these products we can barely read it and then we have to google it and then we have to understand how it works with our particular body. So I would say start with those home remedies, but I actually have a face and body scrub that actually treats acne and eczema and it works amazing. I had one guy that would buy in bulk from LA and he had what y'all would say, the really severe acne as an adult. And he will use it continuously. And I mean, his skin is smooth like a baby's bottom.
Ooh, we're gonna have to try some of your product, honey.
Yeah.
Yes.
What is this product called? So we know.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we lost her too. Oh gosh, it's okay.
You're frozen, TK. I don't know if she could hear. Sometimes they're
Can you
frozen and you
guys
can
hear me
still hear.
now?
Oh, we can
Yes,
hear you
we
now,
could
sis. Yeah.
definitely hear you.
You
But
got
I
TK
mean,
is
so
oh,
now
in case I cut
frozen.
out again, the question that I wanted, maybe you guys can pick it up just in case I get cut off. But I was asking her like, how do you like really kind of go about vetting, these sources, to make sure that, these companies that you're partnering with, to know that the products that you have or the ingredients, they are truly organic. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
just like saying USDA organic and all of these things, and now coming to find out that it's all just a marketing ploy, truly. So just kind of making sure the science behind the product is really vetted and it's and so we know that we're getting a quality product. Like I just want to kind of know how business owners go about that in the beauty industry.
Mm-hmm.
that's a
Because
really
for
good.
instance, as you know that I do body butters too, and like some of my clients there are the people that purchase. Some people are allergic to like almond oil, so you have to specifically ask them, are you allergic to anything, any oils or anything like that? Because That's important too.
That's good to know. Yeah, that's good to know. These are things that we usually don't think about, right? When we're picking up a product and it smells good or it feels good, not realizing that there is a potential allergy that could happen. So knowing if you're allergic to a certain product, like Nadine mentioned, is very, very important. So I'm glad you shared that. And even with daily skincare regime, like for me, I love to use like a scrub at night, like an acne scrub, to make sure that my skin stays nice and baby soft, and then I put a moisturizer over it, and thankfully it helps even with anti-aging. And I've noticed that a lot of people don't use moisturizers. That's very, very important. That helps with aging. What are some of the techniques that you both use by chance?
Well, for me, and Cece could attest to that because when my friends come around me, I'm like, "Who want a facial? I want. You want to get a facial? I do you a facial. I do green tea facial. Believe it or not, green tea facial is very good. It has like a lot of antioxidants. So once or twice a month, I'll do a green tea facial on my face, and then I'll also use a lot of serums on my face before I go to bed. A lot of different serums. Let me tell you, the best place you could go get your serums is Marshall, like the top end brand name. Go to Marshalls and get as many serums as you want. And you could use, when you start, if you're using it for the very first time, it's probably going to tingle a little bit because you're mixing different ingredients. I mean, I'm not telling you to go do it if you have like skin problems, eczema, a lot of acne or open scars on your face. It's going to tingle a little bit, but once you get over that for the first 3 days and you start using it, your face is going to be feeling nice and supple when you wake up, and
Mhm.
very moisturizing. So, and of course you got to buy the what do you call it, sunscreen, and use on your face, on your makeup if you're going out.
Good
But the
to know.
green tea facial, you could do it naturally. So you basically, I'm gonna do a quick tutorial. You seep the
Yeah,
green tea,
please, because I was going to ask you.
seep the green tea like you're gonna drink a cup of tea, right? So you open the bag, put it in a bowl, get some honey, and your favorite face scrub, or if you don't have a favorite face scrub or face wash, you could use brown sugar. So you exfoliate your face for about a good 2 minutes and rinse it off. And I'm telling you, you'll see an instant glow. Do not use any green tea that has like green tea and lemon, green tea and this, green tea and pineapple. Just use a natural green tea. And then that leftover tea that you have in the cup or whatever, you could just put it in the refrigerator and use it as a toner. I'm telling you, this is magic. Okay.
Well,
I'm almost
thank
50
you
years
for
old.
that.
I'm almost
Thank
50 years
you.
old, honey. And let me tell you, do you green tea facials?
Thank you for
Yeah,
that.
and
Now, is that something that you learned, like, culturally, or where did you pick this up at?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think I watched the video a long time ago, and then I've just been incorporating it once or twice a month. I do. I mean, I haven't done it for the past 2 months, but I use my serums on my face. But when you do use it, I'm telling you, when you try it, yes, see, come back and let me know, because you will see an instant glow on your face. And then put the green tea in a little bottle and put it in the refrigerator and use it as a toner. Ask Cece. I've given her a facial before.
Nice. Yeah,
yeah, that's
Cece,
what
I
I was
think you were
gonna
going to
say.
mention your. Mhm.
Yep, because I'm like, yeah, I have been a recipient of the green tea facial. Okay, I have been a recipient of like the oils and all the things. When you go to Nadine's house, look, you gonna get the top chef treatment. Okay, it's 5-star resort. Okay, you're gonna come out glowing and looking gorgeous. And I love it because it is just natural things. We just, with the green tea nowadays, because everything is like fake food, you just got to make sure that you're getting real green tea. You know what I'm saying? To do those types of things. But yeah, it does work. It's really, really nice. And I like that it's simple, it's easy. It's typically things that you already have in your pantry. You know what I'm saying? And now you can use it, for skincare. And natural
Mhm.
is the best way to go. It takes a little
Yeah.
bit longer, right, with the natural products. But I'm like, at some point you got to kind of be okay with that, because you're not going to have the side effects. You might get some kind of chemical medicine, right, to utilize, but you're going to get those side effects very, very quickly. With the natural things, it takes a little longer to work, but as it's working and you're patient, you don't get those
Mhm.
long term side effects.
Exactly.
That's
Like
good.
with the body weight. I think before she got disconnected, you were asking her like, any advice of what, you could use, or the for the kids starting early.
Mhm.
Internally, I mean, like drinking water. I mean, I don't drink water like I should. I mean, I have my bottle now, but
And actually, our
Starting,
guest is back.
yeah, starting with drinking a lot of water, and then as soon as they get out the shower and they dry off, they moisturize right away when they get out the shower, so that their skin is not the, because the water is hard.
Right. Right. Absolutely. We're going to welcome back our guest. She is back on. Welcome back, TK.
Welcome.
Hey, can y'all hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, like y'all was saying earlier, the heat was getting to my phone. My phone overheated. I had to turn the air down. So, upstairs, it gets hotter upstairs. So,
It does. Absolutely. I think Cece, she had a question for you. Cece, I know your audio was better. Would you ask her again?
Yeah, absolutely. So I love like being, inside. You talk to business owners in the beauty industry, just like, seeing like what is the process, right, for us consumers, right? To say like, okay, I'm with this company, but I really want to make sure that their products are truly natural. I really want to make sure that, they're doing all the things that they say that they're doing and the product's going to do all of those things. How do you go about when you're looking for these companies to outsource with, right? What's the process to like vet these companies? To really truly make sure
just
that
make
they are
sure they
keeping.
have their certifications and stuff listed, FDA approved and stuff like that. You want to make sure that's there. Oh, one big one was having what is it called? Hold on, let me think. um, COVID certified cleansingness, and that was one big one. Started from 2020 when COVID was really big, and just being cleanly was a big part of why a lot of us was all shut down for so long. So that was another big one. So just making sure that they have all those certifications listed on their website or on their page, whatever it is. And you want to be able to read it. You
Yeah,
want to be
because
able to
I
know
know
those
like with these
terminology.
things, yeah, because like you don't really necessarily have to list all the ingredients. And even with
Right.
like the different certification agencies, everything is kind of being exposed now. Well, not kind of, it is being exposed. That even with these organizations, that they are not even doing their job to the full extent of the law, or in regards to the
Right.
different processes and things like that. So have you ever had an opportunity with the people that you outsource with to like go to their factories? I know I've had some friends kind of do that
No, I
just to kind of
have
check it
not.
out.
No, I have not. I do know they're based out in Utah, but yeah, no, never have been over there to their actual shop. But I have been working with them since I've started, so I haven't changed, and I think that's really important too. If you don't have to change, stick with what you know and what works good.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And so what would you say would be some of your um, pet peeves when it comes to this industry?
That's a good question. Pet peeves. One of my biggest pet peeves is especially when a client comes in and tries to tell me how to do my job. Because I'm the professional. I'm the one that learned hair, learned face, learned makeup, learned all that. I'm the one supposed to educate you. You can't expect yourself to know everything when you did not go to school for it.
Yes, that part. Yes, that part right there.
Yeah,
Preach.
that's my biggest pet peeve.
And I echo your words because that would be my pet peeve too if I were in your
Yeah.
industry or in any industry, right? It's somebody
Right.
who's never
Yeah.
acted a day in their life. They're trying to tell me how to act. I'm like, ma'am, sir, I've been acting since age 11. Come on now.
Yeah.
So
So
I get where you're coming from. Absolutely.
right,
That's
and as a cosmetologist, like it's important for us to know like what style looks good on your face shape, your head size, your density, your texture, and a lot of people don't understand that. They see a picture of Beyonce and say they want their hair blonde and expect to get it.
Listen, I didn't go to school for cosmetology or whatever, right? So, but I
Mhm.
know how to do hair. I know how to do a good sewing or whatever, and
Mhm.
that's one of the reasons why I will do my friends here out there, my family, whoever need their hair done. But I'm sorry. God bless your heart for being so patient,
That's exactly
because
what I was about to
if they
say. You
come
have
in
to
here
have
with a picture
patience.
looking for Beyonce, and you do the same exact style, it's not gonna look the same, because that person in
Exactly.
the picture has they have a totally different face than you
Mhm.
do.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a really
And
good
face
point.
shape matters a lot. You might have a oval shaped face, and the person you're trying to look at like has a diamond shaped face, and it makes a complete difference.
Thank
Yeah,
I
you.
no.
like that you ladies are talking about that. TK, are there like, I know there probably are, but are there like apps or tools that you can kind of like, like take a picture and have their face and try to
Yes, I don't.
different
Yeah, I
styles
don't know
on and
any
kind of show them?
specifically, but I know you can use like those filters on TikTok and Instagram. They be
Mm.
having some. They even have some that shows you exactly where to put your makeup, like according to your face shape. And I think it's the coolest thing in the world. I said that's what people need to be using when they don't know how to do it. Use that, and pretty much gives you a guideline. It'll have like the blush, like the filter over your face, and it'll show you where to put the blush and where to put the contour.
But for a lot of people that don't know how to do makeup, I mean, with technology now, you have YouTube. You have YouTube University.
Yes, that's where I started. YouTube University. That's how I figured out how to do my face.
Even with YouTube, you can learn how to cook because there's a lot of amazing dishes that I've pulled from YouTube,
Yeah.
and I add my pizzazz to it. Add that little sprinkle, this and that, and yeah,
Yes.
YouTube University. I echo your words, Nadine.
Some
Yep.
people just don't have the patience to do it, or they don't grasp it. So maybe
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Or sometimes
Keep
it's
your
just the products to use. Like every product is not good for every face. So you just have to have that knowledge of like, okay, are you oily? Are you a dry skin? Are you
Mhm,
combination?
mhm,
And what
mhm.
products is good for that? So
And
you just
different
try.
undertones in your makeup.
Exactly.
And yeah, because have you ever been, I'm sure you've been to Mac, and you go
hmm
into Mac and you put on the your favorite makeup and lipstick, and the it looks so good in the store, and you go home and it's like, what the heck is this? My face look orange. Like, I
Yes,
think they purpose
I've
that
had
lighting
clients
they
to do
have in
that.
there is
Yep.
ridiculous.
Yep, I've had clients like that. I've worked at Ulta before, so I've been the one doing the face and then telling you, okay, so you need this to get that look, this to get that look, and then they come back in and be like, I can't do it, and I'm just, I don't know. Sometimes I guess some people just can't grasp it, like you said.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. And so keeping this momentum going, what would be, let's say if I booked with you today, what would be my experience? What would be a day in the life of me booking with TK at a service? Walk me through what
Um,
I'm going to
So it
experience.
depends. You could go through my website and go through my style sheet to book the appointment. It'll tell
Mhm,
you what days I'm available, what times I'm available, and all your services. And from there, if I need to reach out to you, I'll reach out to you about what particular services, because when you pick a service, it's pretty basic.
mhm.
And we'll go from there. And I'm very communicative about that. I love to take full consultation to make sure that I'm giving you the style that you want and what's going to work for you. So,
Mm.
and then, you come to my shop and you get glammed up. It's that. We have fun.
That is awesome. And so remind us, where is your shop located? Do you accept walk-ins or is it only appointments?
It's only by appointments because I have a little one, so I have to balance things. But
Mhm.
I am downtown Fayetteville. It is 607 German Street, and I am Suite G.
Okay, awesome. So you all heard it. Visit TK in Fayetteville. You do have to book an appointment. Just don't show up because I'm sure she's going to have other clients and she may not be there if you didn't book an
Yeah.
appointment. So book an
Yeah.
appointment.
Yeah, and you
Mm.
can also book online at royaltybells.inc.com.
Okay, awesome. Nadine or Cece, any other questions that we want to ask TK before we pivot over to the last minute words segment?
Yeah, so I have one last question. So
Absolutely.
your services go beyond the beauty, right? So how do you use RBC to uplift and empower others?
Mm.
Like I said earlier, I'm building confidence from the inside. Like when y'all get your hair done, when you get your makeup done, don't y'all feel good? You know, like so that's the start. And then not only that, like I'm a meditation instructor. I didn't say that at the beginning. That's one of the ones I be forgetting. I am a meditation instructor, so I'm all about healing trauma and like talking. At a hair salon, I am the therapist a lot of times. So I'm always hearing people's their business. But I always talk to them, try to uplift them and encourage them through anything they're going through. And through that and doing hair, I turn visions into reality and build people up from the inside out.
Awesome.
That is
So,
beautiful.
like for
Cece.
adolescents,
Oh,
yeah, so for like adolescents, right? Because like young girls, they want to wear makeup and do all this stuff, and the parents are like, no, no. But so for the parents that are allowing their girls to wear makeup at an early age, what do you recommend? I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not like a full on face, but what are some products you think that are acceptable, for these young girls kind of getting into makeup so that it's not so over the top, and then two, so that it's not, say that maybe they're not getting your products, which are natural and healthy and good, but they're getting some of these other products so it's not over the top to kind of damage their skins and stuff. What would be some things you would kind of recommend that they would wear, maybe like mascara or gloss or
well, when it comes to that, I am not the judge. You'll be surprised how many young girls come in and want the full on glam and everything, and the parents is letting them. So I really just go with the flow with them. I ask the parent, I ask the child, what's comfortable for you. Are you getting lashes? Do you want full face packed on? Everything. Do you want a glam eyeshadow? I ask those questions. Do you want your eyebrows filled in, or do you just want them fluffed out? It's just very important for me to just do that consultation, and I'll just follow their lead.
Okay.
And what
So
age
along
group
the
was
lines of
I'm
Cece.
sorry. I'm sorry. I was asking Cece what age group was she referring to?
no specific age group because they all vary. But I'm just like, what is too much, for maybe a 12-year-old or a
Yeah,
15-year-old,
it's all different because we have some of these young girls, really young girls that do these pageants, and they expect them to come with full face. So it's really just it depends. It depends case to case.
So with that, I'm going to set up a scenario. So let's say if I'm a parent of a daughter who likes to wear makeup, but I don't necessarily agree, but I'm trying to compromise with her. What would be your advice to me as a mother to say, hey, have you thought about this or have you considered that? And that way I can work with my daughter to make sure that she is getting the
Right.
best, for her skin,
I'm
along the
always
lines of what CC shared.
Yeah, I'm always about compromise. I'll ask between each person, like the parent and the child, and then I'll try to work something in between. Like, so if the child wants a volume, full volume lashes, but the parent wants them very natural to nothing, I try to work on something in between, like a nice little classic lash. And that
Yeah.
usually helps out. Something that's not too much, but just gives them a nice little flair. And, so I try to work with them. That's what I try to do.
Okay. Okay. Awesome.
It so happened, right? Like I have in my office here this, these beauty supply store used to sell these nice flavored lip gloss.
Yes, yes, yes.
They still sell these nice flavored lip gloss for the 9, 8, 7, 10, 12 years old that want to, make, and it tastes good. This is strawberry, I believe. So, yeah, strawberry.
Hmm.
So if they don't want to wear the lipstick or whatever, these nice fruity lip gloss, they
Yeah.
look pretty on the lips. It just so happened to be sitting here. I had to show it.
That
Right.
is,
Yeah.
I love that you always have that. Just everything that we talk about, Nadine, you have it in there. That is amazing. You're like an Amazon store. I love it. I love it. Yes, I love that. See, that's why I have these two amazing co-hosts because they just bring that extra layer that I can't
Yes,
bring. So I
they
really
are.
appreciate that. But TK, you have been amazing. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pivot over to our last minute words, and this is an opportunity for you to remind people who you are, where they can find you, how they can book you. If you have a quote to share that. Pretty much whatever it is that you want to say to the audience and listeners of Oyandia TV. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have CC start us off. Then you can go next, TK, Nadine, and then I'll go last.
Fantastic. So everybody, so glad you're tuning into the show. I love Oyandia TV. It's always fun and exciting. So I'm your girl, Sandra the Actions with Inspire for Purpose and also Extended Hands Worldwide Ministry. So you can check us out on the World Wide Web. My quote is to remember that nothing positive ever came from negative thinking. And so, with that being said, remember to always think on those things that are positive. Keep a great attitude, no matter if life is lifing and things aren't really going your way. Try to keep that positive attitude and that mindset, because that's going to allow your attitude, right, to kind of go higher and higher for your altitude. So, that's really, really important. So, as I always like to say, love and light and inspire for purpose.
All right, hey everybody, I am Queen TKG. I am your beauty guru and all around beauty specialist, owner of Royalty Bells Inc. Studios, and you can find me at royaltybellsinc.com. Book me, shop with me. I'm here to serve, and thank you.
I had to come off of mute. So yes, as you know, everybody knows my name is Nadine Barton, Navy retired veteran here, author and entrepreneur. I'm also a travel agent as well. So if you like to book that trip, now is the time. But anyway, you can find me on on Instagram at Nadia B _1202, and here on Facebook, my name, as you see, is written on the screen. And I always say, life is 10% of what happened to you, and 90% of how you react. So make sure you treat people kind, because as some things, what goes around comes around. So that person you kick down right now, just for inspiration, I always watch those reels with Darman. All his videos are very positive. I don't know if you've heard of him. Yessie.
No, I haven't. Who is, you said Darman?
Dharmann. Go to his channel. Like he posts these reels, and these actors, like with different scenarios about life. Very, very positive. And it's like real life scenarios that people deal with every day. And I've been watching him for a while, and in those situations, it just teaches you some lessons that life is 10% of what happened to you and 90% of how you react. So treat people kind, because you never know what somebody's going through, or you don't know their story. So don't judge a book by its cover.
Food for thought for sure. Thank you, CCTK and Nadine. And thank you, listeners and viewers. Also, thank you to our sponsors. So, not only do we have Nadine and Dr. Cece as our sponsors and their businesses, of course, we also have Collective Wear. We have Nadine's Travel Oasis. We have Divine Beauty and Accessories, and I'm going to play their promos. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Dream, explore, discover with Nadine's Travel Oasis. Your next adventure is just a booking away. From breathtaking beaches to vibrant cityscapes, we handle the details so you can make the memories. Luxury, leisure, or last-minute getaways, we've got you covered. Book today and let Nadine's Travel Oasis take you places.
Sponsored by Collective Wear. Available at www.yessierodriguez.com/shop and myrod-enterprise.com/shop.
Sponsored by Divine Beauty and Accessories. Watch Oyandia TV Thursday, 7:30 p.m.
All right, and for those who want to be sponsors on Oyandia TV, or if you want to be a guest, or if you have a topic of discussion that you want me, Nadine, or Dr. Cece to talk about, email oyandiatv@gmail.com. It is scrolling at the bottom of this view, oyandiatv@gmail.com. Also, I wanted to take an opportunity to share that, just a reminder, right? Similar to what Nadine says about life in general. Thinking outside the box and reminding yourself that don't tell yourself the sky's the limit. Like I always say, the sky is not the limit. Why would you say that? Why would you frame your mindset to a barrier from outer space called the Kármán line, 62 miles above that sea level? Yes, I'm sure many of you may not know that, or you know now because you've either heard today or heard many other times in the past where I've repeated this, but I'm going to continue to repeat it, and this is why. Because that means that you are psychologically setting yourself a barrier in your mindset. Seize and stop. Please stop from saying sky's the limit, because the sky is not the limit. But before I go in further into my quote, I will say this. As a reminder, mental health spectrum. Remember back about 4 weeks ago when we started June, reminder of mental health awareness. I'm talking about the mental health spectrum, right? So, one is you're thriving, you have optimal well being. Two, you're starting to struggle a little bit, you're feeling some type of way, a little distressed. Three, mental health conditions. And four means you're very severe. So the challenge earlier in the month was for you to gauge yourself each and every day. Are you a one, a two, a three, or a four? We're fast approaching the end of the month, which means that as of Monday, you should be tallying up those scores to get yourself an average to see how was my mental health for the month of June. And depending on how you range or where your average is, definitely decide for you and your family's well being and for your sake, how are you going to proceed? If you're between a three and a four, I personally recommend that it's time to seek help. And it's okay if you need help. It's a okay. Life is not easy, right? And we know that. So I would recommend if you land on a three or a four as an average, please, I encourage you, go book that therapy appointment. Go see TK. She's a massage therapist, right? She can help you out. There's so many different ways. If you need to get outside, get some more sunlight, go for a walk. When was the last time you were on vacation? Think about these things to help you, yourself, your mental health, and your family because they need you, right? So, with that in mind, I will say the sky is never the limit because the galaxies are endless. So, again, thank you all for tuning into Hoy en Dia TV. Until next week. Yes.